Charles I, a Stuart monarch, ruled over England, Scotland, and Ireland from 1625 until his execution in 1649. His reign was marked by political turmoil, religious conflict, and ultimately, civil war. Charles's contentious relationship with Parliament, his attempts to assert royal authority, and his religious policies contributed to a deepening crisis that ultimately led to the English Civil War and his own downfall. Born in 1600, Charles was the second son of King James I and Anne of Denmark. He received a comprehensive education and developed a strong belief in the divine right of kings, which held that monarchs were answerable only to God and not to Parliament or their subjects. Upon ascending to the throne in 1625, Charles faced numerous challenges inherited from his father's reign, including tensions with Parliament over taxation and religious policy. One of Charles's early struggles with Parliament revolved around finances. His attempts to raise revenue without parliamentary approval, through methods such as ship money and forced loans, sparked opposition among parliamentarians who viewed such actions as unconstitutional. These disputes over taxation deepened the divide between Charles and Parliament, setting the stage for more significant conflicts to come. Religion was another contentious issue during Charles's reign. His marriage to Henrietta Maria of France, a devout Catholic, raised suspicions among Protestant subjects, who feared Catholic influence at court. Charles's attempts to promote religious unity and tolerance were met with resistance from Puritans and other Protestant factions who saw him as a threat to their faith. Charles's religious policies, particularly his attempts to impose Anglican liturgy on Scotland, led to rebellion in 1639 known as the First Bishops' War. The conflict with Scotland escalated into the English Civil War in 1642, as tensions between the king and Parliament reached a breaking point. The war pitted royalist supporters of the king, known as Cavaliers, against parliamentarian forces, known as Roundheads, led by Oliver Cromwell and others. Despite initial royalist victories, including the Battle of Edgehill in 1642, the Civil War dragged on for years, devastating the country and resulting in immense loss of life. Charles's leadership during the war was marked by indecision and strategic blunders, contributing to the eventual defeat of the royalist cause. In 1646, Charles surrendered to Scottish forces, hoping to negotiate a settlement that would restore his authority. However, his refusal to compromise on key issues, such as religious freedom and the disbandment of his army, alienated potential allies and undermined his bargaining position. In 1648, a faction of parliamentarians known as the Pride's Purge seized control and purged moderate members, leaving only those willing to put the king on trial for treason. Charles's trial, which began in January 1649, was a historic event, marking the first time a reigning monarch was tried and executed by their own subjects. Despite his eloquent defense of his actions and his refusal to recognize the authority of the court, Charles was found guilty and sentenced to death. On January 30, 1649, he was executed by beheading outside the banqueting house in Whitehall. The execution of Charles I sent shockwaves throughout Europe and marked the end of an era of absolute monarchy in England. The subsequent establishment of the Commonwealth under Oliver Cromwell and the eventual restoration of the monarchy in 1660 under Charles II reshaped the political landscape of Britain. Charles's reign and his ultimate fate remain subjects of historical debate and controversy. While some view him as a martyr for royal authority and traditional values, others see him as a stubborn and authoritarian monarch whose actions precipitated a devastating civil war. Regardless of one's perspective, Charles's reign left an indelible mark on British history, shaping the trajectory of the nation's political development for centuries to come.